All right, it's my favorite topic to talk about. It's the horrendous officiating of the NFL. We all saw the debacle last Saturday night in Dallas between the Lions and the Cowboys. I'm not here to relitigate that, but we got a story here on how the NFL is bagging up this crew. Referee Brad Allen and his crew are in another primetime game this week with playoff implications, getting assigned the Steelers and Ravens game, which if Pittsburgh wins, they have a good shot of getting into the postseason. Ravens not really playing for anything, but this is a larger problem that the NFL has, and I love going on my rant about this. Goodell and the league always seem to be backing up their officials when more than ever we have calls and people thinking that these guys are on the take. Now, could they be on the take with the expansion of sports gambling across this country? Yes, it's possible, but I think there's a larger problem afoot with horrible hiring practices, lack of training, the lack of a full-time job for these officials, and it's really muddied the waters. And the NFL, you're a multi-billion dollar a year industry, and you refuse to get this thing right. You refuse to do the bare minimum. You just keep laughing in all of our faces. Now, I don't know how much longer this can possibly last. Vegas, the gaming commissions, these are billion-dollar industries. They're not going to have this. They're not going to have the perception of these games aren't fair, these games are fixed. People aren't going to bet on them. If people stop betting on the NFL, we're going to have a massive problem on our hands. It's a really simple solution. But the question is, how did we get here? How did we get to this point? Well, we have a crew like Brad Allen's where they screw up the simplest of things, the reporting, and then the NFL blames the Lions for trying to confuse the Cowboys. This is just a nonsense. The referee screwed up. The same crew blew a horrible pass interference call on Sunday Night Football between the Chiefs and the Packers, altered the outcome of that game. And I know everybody who watches every game week in and week out, you see a dozen calls throughout the week that are just like, what is going on? They get amplified during those primetime games, but it happens every game, every week. And I'm even starting to get to the point where it's like, you wonder why we think these dudes are on the take. Now, the rules are convoluted, not smooth, not clear to really anybody. The NFL likes to be long-winded in their explanations and nonsense, but it starts from the bottom. Officiating is a political cesspool. You do not get the best officials rising to the top. The NFL, for a good chunk of time, the past 7 years or so, has diverted from hiring from the best practicing officials to more of a check the boxes type officials. That's a massive problem. You need to have a meritocracy with officiating. You need to get the best officials out there. Lack of training. These guys aren't trained year round because they're not full-time employees. They're not paid throughout the year. Now, they do make a good living and they have to make a certain amount of money in their real world jobs to avoid the gambling thing. You're a multi-billion dollar a year industry. Pay your damn officials full-time. We now have the new USF or the UFL, the United Football League, going, kind of working as a test league, minor league thing. NFL officials should be working through that league. They should be getting trainings throughout the season with the updated rules, practices. You just got to keep sharp. Officiating is you just got to keep doing it to keep your game. If you stop officiating for a while, you get a little rusty. Now, I know they work out in training camps and stuff like that, but it's still a complete disaster. Replay officials, the head of replay in New York, it's a total mess. They have like 3 dudes working in there with like 4 screens when there's like 10 games on. They're clueless. We're supposed to have these expedited replays, the eye in the sky. I shouldn't be watching a game every single week and seeing, oh yeah, here's the quick call. They shouldn't have to challenge that. It should be a quick overturn. No, you're going to make a team challenge it. We're going to spend 20 minutes here looking at this play when it's a very clear and obvious. I should be right 9 times out of 10 watching the first 2 replays of a play, and it should be quick and seamless. But we don't have that because the NFL is a bunch of cheapskates. Rodger Goodell, we got to line our pockets. We got to be cheap as possible. I think this needs to go start from zero. We need to blow this thing up. Everybody is fired. We are starting fresh. Hiring people. Now, if you're currently official, you can easily get back into that job. You can earn your way back into being an official. I'm not saying these guys are permanently banned, but we have to try something new. We have to start something fresh. It's getting ridiculous, and I have a very big concern that this postseason is going to be a disaster. We're going to see major calls. Now, Rodger Goodell always kissing the ass, always defending his officials. Look, it is a hard job, but it's really not that hard of a job. Like, it's not that hard to find people that can officiate games. Talking about how great the officiating's been. It's the best it's ever been. Then we have the Super Bowl nonsense where everyone, the holding call, everyone was unhappy about that. It just feels like these things get amplified and they're getting worse and worse every single year. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a conspiracy. Maybe Vegas has gotten a hold of these guys and they're just cheating. We're just flat out cheating here. We just got guys on the take controlling outcomes. You know it's really bad where we got accounts that have identified betting patterns with certain crews, with certain people in certain windows, working certain games, certain totals you can bet in your favor. And we're talking massive odds, like over 90% in your favor if you bet under these conditions with these certain officiating crews. It should never be like that. Every game should be an individual basis. We should not have tendencies. Obviously, there's going to be slight bias. There's going to be tendencies for crews that have maybe a tighter pass interference, but we need to find some sort of consistency. There is essentially zero consistency across the NFL with their officials. It's a total train wreck. Like I said, got to start over, got to just hire the best people, got to figure out a way to make them full-time employees, train them throughout the year. Like I said, work with the UFL, United Football League, the new XFL, USFL League. Work with them. Get in that league. That should be the NFL's minor league, the training grounds, the testing grounds. Let's make this a partnership that works. There's a bazillion dollars in TV deals. The NFL is king. It's not going anywhere in this country, but you want to save a couple bucks to diminish the product and maybe risk losing interest in this game. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do we need to do about the officiating? Are they completely on the take in Vegas, or are they just completely incompetent? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you haven't already, click that like button, subscribe to the channel. We got new sports content every single day. If you want to support me more, click the join button, sign up for a channel membership. You get access to exclusive content, early access to videos, badges, emojis, things to use in the live streams throughout the year. Really helps me out, helps support me, allows me to keep making this great content for you guys every single day. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.